Hello everyone, this is Mr. Burris, your instructor for MAT111 College Trigonometry during the summer 2018 semester at Piedmont Technical College. I want to spend a few minutes going over the features of the course, how it is set up, how you will maneuver through the course, how you'll complete assignments, how you're going to be assessed, and then I also want to spend a few moments going over the MyLabsPlus portion, which is where the homework, tests, and any quizzes that will be assigned will be completed. When you log into D2L, your screen should look like this, listing a link for each of the courses for which you are registered. You probably don't have as many as I've got here on my display, but look for MAT111 and go ahead and click the link, and you will open up to an announcement. The very first announcement is the welcome letter that I sent to everyone last night before I went to bed. And I do want to apologize for not getting this video made before, but it just took me a while to get everything completed, and I ran out of time, and I also had an early class at Newberry this morning, so I needed to go ahead and hit the hay, and am making this video now as soon as my class was over. So this was the welcome message that I sent to everyone yesterday, welcoming you to the course, announcing that we'll be covering 35 sections of material, and mentioning also the proctored tests. I'll talk more about the proctored tests here in just a few minutes. And then there is also an announcement listing the hours for the Summer Math Center at the Greenwood campus. Go ahead and open this right now and go ahead and get this discussion out of the way. If you live in Greenwood and have access to the Greenwood campus, we have a math center that operates 4 days a week at various times during the day. And so we have got a flyer posted with the hours. Feel free to drop in, or if there's enough people there that forms a small group, people can work together in a group with the teacher. But the summer 2018 hours for the Math Center are going to be Mondays from 11 to 2 with Deborah Moore, on Tuesdays from 10 to noon with Joyce Houston, and from 1 to 3 with Tim Campbell. Then on Wednesdays, 9 to 11 in the morning with Mrs. Houston, and again, she'll run the center from 5 to 8. And then on Thursdays, from 10 to noon with Miss Houston, and Mr. Campbell will host the Math Center from 3 to 5. All of those are located in the lower level of K building. We call that the Learning Center, and the Math Center is within the Learning Center. There's also an introductory quiz and discussion that needs to be completed to assure that you remain enrolled in the class and don't get dropped for never attending. And these two introductory assignments are the syllabus and course information quiz, and also an introduction discussion. The syllabus and course information quiz is used to document your initial attendance in the class. You'll need to open up the syllabus and course information documents within the course content area of D2L in order to get access to the syllabus and course information quiz. You get unlimited attempts at the quiz to try to make a 100. I think the most times I've seen any student attempt it without making a 100 is 12. Hopefully it won't take you that many tries, but you can keep trying until you finally get all the questions correct. And the second assignment is to post a posting to the introductory discussion forum announcing who you are and what your major is, and sharing any kind of personal information that you wish with the class. You can be as tight with the information that you share, or you can be very flowery and open about your life. So just make sure that you get that introductory discussion posting completed, and complete the syllabus and course information quiz. The date for that is May 25th. And if these two assignments are not completed by then, I will have you reported as a never attends for the class. So I want to go over some sections of the class. I want to go through the course content section, talk about the discussion postings, show you where the syllabus and course information quiz is located, and then we will log into MyLabsPlus and talk about that for a few minutes. To get access to the course information, you'll want to click the Content tab in the upper left-hand corner, and there's a section here for getting prepared for an online class. You are free to open that link and take a look at it. Computer seems to be very slow today. If you have never taken a course here with Piedmont Tech, and some of you are brand new to the college, you might want to take a few moments and read a lot of this getting prepared information, because it explains how to maneuver through D2L. Then there's an online attendance policy for MAT111. We'll go ahead and get this out of the way right now. Attendance is required in the class to succeed. The homework and tests are going to serve as the attendance vehicles in this class. I hope that everyone will be able to attempt the tests when they are, when the window of time is open for them to be completed, and I hope everyone will be able to be conscientious and completing their homework assignments. MyLabsPlus is the website we're going to use for our homework, and we'll come back to this MyLabPlus link in just a few minutes. If you live outside of the Piedmont Tech 7-county umbrella and do not want to travel a long distance to take the proctored exams that we're going to have for this course, you can fill out a proctor request instruction form. And this form looks like this. Once you have located either a testing center, a school, a college, a technical college that offers proctoring services, you'll need to complete this form and submit it to Jennifer Stroud for approval. Most technical colleges offer a tutoring service, a proctoring service. Most major universities, if you have one close by, will offer this particular service. Some places do charge a fee for a proctoring service, so that's something that you also want to keep in mind. If you're taking multiple courses at the same time, you'll need to indicate how many proctored courses that you are taking this summer. And when you have completed this form, hit the submit button. Usually there's never a problem. I have not known a case where a proctor submission request has ever been denied by Piedmont Tech, but we do need to get that information so I can forward the proctored information to the proper place. So that is if you are not going to be taking the proctored exams in the 7-county campus region of Piedmont Tech. If you are going to be taking your proctored exams at a Piedmont Tech campus, you do not need to complete this form. But you probably do need to let me know where you're going to be taking your exams. Remember, most county campuses run on a reduced schedule during the summer months. Very few are open on Fridays. I think Newberry is open until noon. I think Lawrence is open until noon. Some of the other ones may close. And that's why the window of opportunity for the proctored exams, when we have them, are limited to Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. And we'll talk more about the proctored exams in just a few minutes. But I did want to show you where the proctored form link was located within the course document. If you do not have it already, you might want to download the Brightspace Pulse app. This will send you a notification whenever I have updated grades within the D2L gradebook, and you'll get a notification right away. And I know this works because I've graded tests before, and 2 minutes later, students are knocking at my door wanting to take a look at their exams. So I know that the Brightspace app does work. So that's the getting prepared section for the course. Then we get to the getting started section. And as I mentioned before, you need to open up the syllabus and course information documents in D2L so that you will have access to the syllabus and course information quiz. So here's the syllabus. When I started with Piedmont Tech 6 years ago, the syllabus was 34 pages long. Now it's 2 because we have linked a lot of the information to other sub-pages within the Piedmont Tech server system. We are in MAT111 College Trigonometry. We're housed within the Division of Arts and Sciences. The course description should look familiar if you were reading up on what this course entails through the course catalog before registering. but we are going to cover trigonometric functions, identities, solution of right and oblique triangles, solution of trigonometric equations, polar coordinates, complex numbers including de Moivre's theorem, vectors, conic sections, sequences and series, and parametric equations. And in order to have registered for this course, hopefully you have met the prerequisite of a minimum grade of C in Math 110. You'll need a lot of the skills that were learned in Math 110 to succeed in Math 111. There is a textbook for this course. It is the 6th edition of Algebra and Trigonometry by Blitzer. You do not have to purchase a hard copy of the textbook. MyLabsPlus, the website where our homework and assignments are going to be completed, does allow for electronic access if you decide to purchase that option with your access code. And we'll talk about other options for getting access to the textbook information in just a few minutes. I've already touched briefly on the proctored examinations. The rest of this is pretty standard fare for most course syllabi, and I'll let you click on the links for these at your own leisure. I guess we need to go ahead and discuss the grading policy. We use the old high school grading scale for our math courses here at Piedmont Tech. So in order to earn an A in Math 111, your final average needs to be between 94 and 100. Any student finishing the course with an average between 85 and 93 will receive a grade of B at the end of the semester. Any student completing the course with an average between 75 and 84 will earn a C. A D is a very small range from 70 to 74, and anyone finishing the course with an average below 70 will receive an F. And I usually don't award very many Fs in Math 110 or 111 because by the time the last day to withdraw rolls around, I have advised those who it does not appear are going to pass and strongly urge them to withdraw from the course. So we'll talk more about grades as the semester wears on, and I'll be in touch with you if you look like you're marginally going to pass as the last day to withdraw approaches, and that is in mid-July. So we're going to be completing a lot of assignments between now and then. So that is the course syllabus. I urge you to open up that document and read it thoroughly. And then the course information document is something else that needs to be opened so that you'll have access to the syllabus and course information quiz. Your grade is going to be determined through 3 major categories. A discussion board and class participation counts for 20% of the course grade. Homework is 30% of the course grade. And tests are 50% of your course grade. The proctored tests are going to count 32% of the course grade, and there are 2 proctored tests, and then the non-proctored tests, which include the 2 other chapter tests, and then also the final examination account, a total of 18% of the course grade. The rest of this document just covers shows what each unit that we're going to cover deals with, and so I urge you to read that document thoroughly as you work through the course information. I guess go ahead and give you my instructor and contact information while we're here in this particular section of the course. My name is Stephen A. Burris. I usually go by Mr. B is what most people call me. I go by Steve, I go by Stephen, although only my family really calls me Stephen, and my boss. And when she says it with authority, I know I'm in trouble. My office is located, I have an office in Newberry, which is cubicle number 3 in the Newberry Center, and I do not have an office at Greenwood, but I will, when I have office hours at the Greenwood campus, I usually hang out in the Learning Center, which is located in the lower level of K Building. And I'm usually located at the front tables as you walk into the room. My email address is burris.s@ptc.edu. That will, you can send me an email there and it will go to my Piedmont Tech email. D2L email is probably the easiest way to contact me. My phone number, my office number is 864-938-1515. If I don't answer, I'm either not in my office or I'm teaching a class. You can always leave a message, and any voicemail messages left for me in my office are automatically forwarded to my Piedmont Tech email. I also have a cell phone that you're welcome to call. That number is 864-962-7444. It operates through the Google Voice system. You can contact me directly. I don't mind. And you can also leave me a voicemail, and if I don't answer when you call, I'll get your message and try to return your call when I'm able. And I also do know how to text using my cell phone, so you are more than welcome to send me a text message. I only ask, I have a lot of students this semester, so please, if you are going to send me a text message, tell me who you are. Don't just start blurting out a message and I have no idea who you are, because my next question will probably be, who is this? My office hours are going to be held on Mondays and Wednesdays from 11:30 to 12:30. That should say in Newberry, since I have a class at 8 o'clock in the morning there, and I'm already going to be in Newberry. I'm just going to have I'll just stay an additional hour from 11:30 to 12:30. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do not teach any classes at all, but I am required to hold office hours on both of those days. So I decided for the Newberry campus on Tuesdays, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., and I will make myself available in the Greenwood campus from 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., and that matches up well because the Math Center closes at 5 p.m. on Thursday. So this will give 3 extra hours of math expertise, so to speak, at the Greenwood campus. So you are more than welcome to come by during my office hours, and if you're having trouble with something, I'll be glad to work with you and try to figure them out. I'm also going to hold some virtual office hours here through D2L, and these will be held on Tuesdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Gee, I may need to push that back to something like 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. because if I'm leaving Newberry at 2 p.m. on Tuesday, it's going to be tight getting back home by 4 p.m. So I may have to adjust that. And Thursdays from noon to 2 p.m. The virtual office is really like a chat room. If things get a little bit more complicated in our chat as I'm trying to help you with any questions that you may have, we may need to go to a Skype type video exchange. But we're going to give the virtual office hours a try this particular semester. Just a little bit about me. I was a meteorologist with the National Weather Service for 16 years, and then one day I decided I didn't want to do that anymore and I'd rather teach. So I went back to grad school and got a teaching degree, and I have been now teaching adult learners for 10 years, and I'm an old veteran at Piedmont Tech. I've been here this is my 6th year with Piedmont Tech. And let's see, some other things. The course calendar. Guess we'll go ahead and get this out of the way right now. This is the course calendar I came up with, and we need to spend a few minutes discussing this. Today is the start of classes. Hopefully you will get registered at MyLabsPlus, and you'll see that I have also included at the very bottom that you need to start studying section 5.1. Because we're going to cover so much material, you'll need to work on the course a little bit every day. Now, what I have got listed here as sections for each particular day on the calendar are just recommendations. I'm not going to call you tomorrow on the 17th and say, did you cover section 5.1 yet? When you cover the material is going to be up to you. Some online students like to wait until the weekends when they have a little bit more free time to work on the material. But we will be covering a lot every week. And it's going to be important that you find time to work on Math 111 every day. Set aside a certain window of time every day where you're going to dedicate yourself to working on the course, because things can snowball quickly and get out of hand, and you don't want to get behind right at the beginning of the semester. So the first 7 sections covering Chapter 5 are going to be covered within the next week. Then you'll see that the due date for the syllabus and course information quiz and to post to the introductory discussion is due on the 25th. Then on the 28th, we have Memorial Day, so the college is closed. Do not come to Piedmont Tech on that day because no one will be here. And then when you come back from Memorial Day, we have our first window of time for our first proctored test. And that is going to be based on Chapter 5 material. So there's the 7 sections of homework that are due, and the discussion posting for forum number 2 is also due that day. That is to work a particular problem from one of the sections. And I'll talk more about the discussions here in just a few minutes. Then, once the proctor test is over, you have 3 days to take that proctor test. You will need to call and make an appointment at the county campus nearest you so that they will know. They don't allow you to just show up unannounced. You can't just show up and say, okay, I'm ready to take my proctor test. You need to let them know that you're coming ahead of time. And that will also apply if you are taking the proctored exam at a non-Piedmont Tech site. Then after the proctor test is over, we move right into Chapter 6, which are dealing with the trigonometric identities. And so that does 5 sections. And then on the week of June 11th, we're going to have our second test. This test is not proctored, so you are allowed to take this in the comfort of your own home. And because it's not proctored, I've given you a 6-day window. Hopefully you can find 2 hours in that 6 days to take test number 2 in the comfort of your own home. There's also Chapter 6 homework is going to be due on June 16th, and discussion posting number 3 needs to be completed also by June 16th. Then we move right into Chapter 7, which is my particular favorite section or unit of the whole course. I think Chapter 7's got some really neat stuff in it, and I hope that you'll enjoy it as well. Hopefully you'll get all of that information mastered by July 8th because the test number 3 window begins on July 9th, which is after our 4th of July break. Now, the college is going to be closed from July 2nd through July 5th, so there won't be any classes held. The college is open on July 6th, and I will be in Greenwood on that particular day, hanging out in the lower level of K building from 9 a.m. to noon. Some Piedmont Tech faculty have that day off. I do not, and I don't have enough personal time built up yet to allow me to take that day off, so I have to show up on July 6th. And so that will be from 9 a.m. to noon. And I invite you to come and spend some time with me in the Learning Center if you're having trouble with our course material. I would be remiss if I didn't mention that the due date for discussion number 4 is June 30th, before our college closes for the 4th of July break. Then the proctor test for number 3, our second proctor test of the semester, is from July 9th through the 12th. So again, you'll need to call the county campus nearest you and make an appointment to take your proctored exam. Chapter 7 homework is due on July 12th, and discussion number 4 is also due. So why do I have discussion 4 due twice? I'll have to look into that. I think this discussion number 4 is an error. Hopefully you won't always wait until the last day to get in there and do the discussion postings. So I don't know how I missed that. I'll have to edit that out of the calendar. Our final section of material covers Chapter 10 and the first 3 sections of Chapter 11. The Chapter 11 material, the arithmetic sequences and series, is really neat. Most of it is just done on the calculator. It's a lot of fun. So I think you'll enjoy it. And Chapter 10 material deals mostly with the conic sections. There's a discussion posting number 5 that is due on the 21st of July. Then the next week you have 5 days to take test number 4 from July 22nd through the 26th. Chapter 10 and 11 homework will be due on July 26th. And our 6th and final discussion posting is also due on July 26th. And then that leaves us time to complete the final exam, which can also be taken at home, and that is going to be held on the dates from July 29th through August 1st. August 1st is the last day of the semester. I cannot accept any work past that date. So if you are going to be late taking your final exam, then you're going to receive a 0 for that. Or I may be able to finagle an incomplete and allow you to take the exam after the class ends. But that is rare. I'd like to go ahead and wrap up the books on Math 111 by the due date of August 1st. So that is our course calendar. You feel free to download it and keep up with the material. And again, the pace is kind of quick, but you can work on the material at your own leisure. Just make sure that you get everything covered and that you have completed all the assignments by the posted due dates. When you go to take your test at the county center, I will be forwarding to them these formula sheets. You are free to download them and use them as you practice through the material, but the testing centers will have access to this formula sheet, and you will be provided with this when you go to take your test. And so a lot of stuff, I just am so anti-memorizing formulae. It doesn't do anybody any good to memorize a lot of things. And as you get older, it's just more difficult to memorize a lot of stuff. And if you were working at this stuff in your career, you wouldn't be forced to memorize them. You could always look them up on the internet or in any kind of textbook. So why penalize the students and make them learn memorize a whole bunch of stuff that they don't need to? So we've put a lot of formulae on these formula sheets, and when you go to take your proctor tests, you will be provided with these formula sheets. So that's for the first two tests, and then the formula sheet for tests number 3 and 4. You'll be provided with both of these formula sheets for both exams. So that is the getting started section in a nutshell. And then, let's see, we've already covered that. Oh, the proctored exam, I've already mentioned that. And then we get into the heart of the course material, starting with module number 1. Now, Mr. Colley, who is the lead instructor for Math 111, has the course set up by modules. And we just decided to keep that for the semester. So there are several learning plans, and I have edited the weeks. This course is designed for a 15-week course. Of course, in the summer, we're compressing everything into a 10-week period of time. So you'll see that sometimes you have to complete 3 or maybe sometimes even 4 learning plans in a particular week. But the learning plans are quite detailed and tell you exactly what you need to do. The first learning plan is just to get familiar with D2L and get registered for MyLabsPlus. And then you get into the actual material. Angles and radians and degrees is the subject of learning plan number 2. A list of objectives is given, what the module requirements are. And then down below in each particular section are videos. These are links to videos that you can watch to learn the material. You do not have to watch the videos if you have access to the electronic version of the book or the hard copy of the book, and you are completely comfortable with the material in written form, then you don't need to watch all these videos. But I don't want you to get frightened by all of these video links that you have to see. You're not required to watch them, but a lot of students are visual learners and may find the videos helpful. Here's one showing you how to convert between degrees and radians.
Hey there, I'm Melissa, and today I want to help you learn to convert between degrees and radians.
So you can watch as many videos as you wish for as long as you wish, and if subject seems particularly easy for you, then maybe you can skip watching the videos if you don't think that you need to. But they're there if you need to use them. And then we get into sections 3 and 4, and again the section videos. And each of the modules is set up in this particular way. So module 1 takes you through learning plan number 5, and that will take us through the very first unit in the course, the chapter 5 material, and then it'll be time to take a test. And then module 2 deals with the chapter 6 material. Chapter 6 is only 5 sections, so it's shorter than most of the others. But like the others, it has a list of objectives and then a link to any videos that may be useful for you. So that's how the course is set up in D2L, and I'll let you explore the rest of this on your own time. Let's talk about the discussions. There are 6 discussions posted. Oh, I see somebody has... I've got a new discussion posting. Somebody posted very early this morning, and now another student has posted to the introductory discussion forum. Here is the introduction discussion forum. This is where you need to introduce yourself to the class. At a minimum, tell us what your name is and what your major is. And you can be as flowery and free with the information that you share with the class, or tight-lipped. But you do need to complete this information introduction forum posting, because that is one of the required documents to make sure that you stay enrolled in the class. The other discussion postings deal with actual problems that are from the book. And he's got a note here. You should work the problem out as much as possible on your own before you submit it. Once you have submitted your attempt, view others to confirm your work and correct any mistakes that you might have made. It's okay if you have made an error. If your work isn't correct, I will tactfully try to suggest a workaround. I'm not going to solve it for you, but I will try to identify what mistake you made in your thought process and lead you to the correct result. If your work is really, if you're really in orbit around another planet on a particular topic, for lack of a better way to say it, I might just send you an email because I'd never want to call out or embarrass a student in a discussion posting, because some of this information is really challenging, and so I don't ever want to hurt another student's feelings. So if your work is more than should be corrected in a discussion posting, to be tactful, I will probably send you an email and try to get you on the right tack. So there's the one for discussion 2. It deals with section 5.8 material. A ship sights a lighthouse directly to the south. A second ship 9 miles east of the first ship also sights a lighthouse. The bearing from the second ship to the lighthouse is south 34 degrees west. In other words, 34 degrees to the southwest. How far to the nearest tenth of a mile is the first ship from the lighthouse? And so if you will be required to answer this question. He's got here, draw an overhead picture of the problem and solve it. And after posting solution, you may share comments with other students regarding the posted problem for this forum. So none of these problems are challenging, but they're also a lot of fun. And that's one of the trigonometry. This is a really fun course. Some of the applications that we deal with in here are really neat. And although they're kind of difficult, they're really fun. So if you like to solve puzzles and have that kind of analytical mind, you're going to love MAT111. Then we get to section discussion posting number 3. And there's the discussion posting for that particular section. Here's another fun application problem. A plane is flying at a speed of 540 miles. That's discussion number 4. Finding the speed and the direction angle to the nearest tenth of a degree of the wind. And then the final 2 discussion postings deal with an ellipsis, or an ellipse, not an ellipsis. And finally, something to do with our arithmetic sequences and series at the very end of the course. So this discussions for this particular course require you to work a problem and submit a solution. And maybe you can also help your fellow students out if you see that a mistake is made before I get a chance to get in there and look at everyone's work. But I will give, if your answer isn't correct at first, I will give you an opportunity to correct it, so everyone should be able to make fairly high grades from the discussions. If you click on the Quizzes tab, this is where the syllabus and course information quiz is located. In order to get access to this, you'll need to open up the syllabus and course information documents through the Course Content tab. I have not set up a checklist yet for the course, but I will be getting to that, and that will be tied to the course calendar, which appears at the very beginning of the course when you log in on the announcement page. And when I have got that checklist completed and updated, I just ran out of time, I will let everyone know. The class list option lists the students that are on the class roster. If you see that there is a green dot next to a student's name, that means that they are logged into D2L somewhere. You can see when the last time they actually accessed the course. Here's a student who accessed the course at 12:57. Oh gosh, that was not too long ago. 12:57 p.m. today. And so both of these people, that's me. And I am logged in right now. Some students are logged into D2L but haven't activated the course yet. So you can send them a message. We have a pager system, so you can send the student a instant message if you wish. Let's see if this works, if he is online. So this might be also an easy way to get me. If you see that if the little green dot is next to my name, that I'm online, you can always send me a little instant message, and we'll see if we get a response from that particular student. You can also email particular students by clicking their name. If you want to send me an email through D2L, just check mark my name and hit the tab, or hit my name, and a little email box will show up. And when you receive new email alerts, a little orange dot will show up on the right-hand corner of this envelope, like it does here on the bell. And that will indicate that you've got a new email dropped into your inbox. Oh, and there's the green dot. There's the orange dot. And I'll bet that is for the email that I just sent to myself. Yep, there it is. Okay, let's get back into College Trig and wrap this part. This video is already long enough. Here's what let me view this as a student, because I want you to get I want you to be able to see what your grade book looks like. And my version of the grade book looks a lot different from yours. But as I update assignments in D2L, I will be updating them to this D2L gradebook. And the gradebook will give you a number of points that you have earned out of a maximum possible number of points. And there's a calculator option that allows you to calculate what your grade is as a percentage. So you can take advantage of that. But this will fill in as our course evolves, and as we cover more and more material, you'll have more and more assignments that are graded. The virtual classroom is where you will go to access our chat rooms that I have not set up yet, but when I do have office hours, I will send everyone a link to those, the virtual office hours, so that you can meet me at a particular time. And so this is Well, that is a video. That is for the video virtual classroom and the chat forum. I will have a chat forum set up for tomorrow so that you can what is this? I'll have to figure that later. But I will have a chat room set up tomorrow for my virtual office hours if anyone. I can't imagine anyone, since we're just beginning, wanting to actually chat about math. But if you start running into trouble, that's what the chat room is going to be used for. So that's the D2L portion of the course. I encourage you to get started working on the material right away, getting familiar with the layout of D2L. And of course, please contact me with any questions or comments that you may have. Let me go back now to the course content area, and let's get logged into MyLabsPlus so I can show you a few things about that. When you log into MyLabsPlus, you're going to be prompted for a username and a password. The username is your P number. The password is initially your birth date in MMDDYY format. Don't type in MMDDYY, it won't work. You need to replace those fields with your personal information. And when you've done that, click Sign In. After you've logged in for the first time, you can change your password if you wish, and I do recommend that you do that. And then a list of courses for which you are registered at MyLabsPlus will show up. Here's MAT111 College Trigonometry. At this point, you will be prompted to enter the access code that you have purchased from the bookstore. If you don't have an access code and want to purchase one, you will be given an option to purchase a code through the publisher. Sometimes it is cheaper to purchase it here through MyLabsPlus than to go through the college bookstore. But you will need access to MyLabsPlus at some point. And I just thought about something else major that I wanted to go over in the D2L portion, and I'll get back to that before we end our video. But when you log into MyLabsPlus, you'll see a list of the assignments and sort of a little ticking clock that tells you how long to go before the next assignments are due. So you'll see that on May 31st are the assignment due dates for Chapter 5 material. That's in 15 days and 10 hours. If you want to see a listing of all of the homework assignments and their due dates, you can click the Homework tab. And why am I starting off with Chapter 10? Well, that's bizarre. Huh. Anyway, here's the Chapter 5 material and their links. And so these are all due on May 31st. To access a homework assignment, just click the link. Some of the homework assignments are quite lengthy. Some of them are shorter than others. So let's take a look at a sample problem. The measure of an angle is given. Classify the angle as acute, right, obtuse, or straight. Some of the questions don't take very long to do. Some, especially in the later sections, are going to require quite a bit of work to complete. There are some help options available. You can always open up the textbook. Some of the questions come with a video. Let's look at a problem that's a little bit more involved. Some of the questions have a help me solve this or view an example option. The help me solve this will take the problem that you are given and work you through step by step how to solve it, and then you'll be given an opportunity to complete another problem that's very similar for a grade. The view an example option walks you through a step-by-step process for a similar problem to the one that you were working. As a last resort, you can always select the Ask My Instructor option. This will send the problem to my inbox, and you can say something like, I just don't understand what I'm doing wrong. Can you help me? And click send, and a little email message will show up in my inbox, and I can take a look at the problem that is giving you fits. So that's how the homework operates. The quizzes and the tests. Oh, it has chimed in, and there's my Ask My Instructor question, along with my very poor grammar. But I have an old keyboard. Some of my keys just don't work like they should. And then it links me to the problem that is giving you trouble, and I'll be able to take a look at it. The quizzes and the tests. For each test that we have, there's a practice test to go along with it. I strongly urge taking the practice tests before you attempt the test, either the proctor tests or the non-proctor tests for real for a grade. Definitely want to spend time working on the practice tests. And so that is how you operate MyLabsPlus. Oh, by the way, if you decide that you want to use the electronic version of the book and you've purchased an access code that gives you electronic access to the book, you can click the eText link on the left side of the screen in MyLabsPlus. And it's being very slow today. Well, this thing's being incredibly slow. But with the cost of textbooks rising so much and students seeming to get younger, a lot of younger students are not buying the large, heavy, very expensive hard copy of the book. They're accustomed to reading things in a digital format, and so a lot of students are just using the electronic version of the book through MyLabsPlus. Well, I wanted to show you... Oh, here it goes. This is the textbook. It's a 6th edition of Algebra and Trigonometry by Blitzer. And then you can find the chapter. We're starting, of course, with chapter 5. We cover 5, 6, 7, and 10, and the first 3 sections of 11. So you can go directly to a chapter by clicking the chapter link. If you want to go to a particular, you can use the arrow keys to go back and forth between pages. If there's a particular section in a chapter that you want to visit, click the little gray tab and a list of the sections will open up, and you can go right to a particular section that you're interested in. But gosh, I would have been remiss. I was about to forget how to show you how to use the textbook. So if you want to use the electronic version of the book, I would not want to be taking MAT111 without some kind of access to a textbook for this particular course. And so I think that is all the MyLabsPlus information that I have. You're always welcome to send me a text message, an email message. You can send me a phone call. You can call me, and I'll be glad to answer your question. I don't want you to feel like while you're taking this online course, which can be unsettling in its own right, I don't want you to feel like that you're all alone on an island. I'm right here with you. As I like to tell my students, never fear, Mr. Burris is here, and I'm going to get you through this if you will let me. So please keep me in the loop, and if you run into need help or run into trouble, please don't hesitate to contact me. There were a couple of other things I wanted to show you. I don't know how I didn't show you these. The course materials. This is in the course overview document. You have several options for the textbook. You can buy a new book. If you buy a new book, most new books come with an access code for MyLabsPlus. You can buy a used book and then buy the access card for MyLabsPlus separately. You can buy the ebook with the access card from either the bookstore or online. That's probably the most popular option now, since so many people are getting accustomed to reading books online. You can buy just the access card from the bookstore or the online, or you can rent a book. But I would not want to be taking Math 111 without some kind of access to a textbook. You might want to ask around. Maybe you know somebody that's taken this course previously and has their old version of the textbook. Trigonometry hasn't changed in thousands of years, but maybe the information, the information will definitely still be good. Maybe somebody has their old book that they haven't sold yet back to the bookstore. What you can expect from me, there is no extra credit for the course. Every semester toward the end, I always get panicked emails from students. Is there any way I can do any extra credit for the class? We do not offer extra credit in the math department. Turnaround times, I will respond to your email within 24 hours. Usually I'm very quick. Within just a couple of hours, I will have a response to any emails that you send. And although I have a 1-week period of time to update the grades in the grade book, I usually keep that up to date very quickly. Students have become accustomed to having rapid updates to their grade book so they know where they stand at all times. And I think that just alleviates anxiety. Instead of finding out, oh gosh, well, I did really well on this test. Maybe it brought my average up. I didn't do so well on this test. Maybe it brought my average down. I want to go ahead and know and not have this strung out. So I'm usually very quick about updating the grade book. There is one other thing I want to show you before I will let this video end, and we are at, well, we're at a long time right now. But there is one other thing I wanted to show you, and it is a link off of the College Trigonometry main page. Oh, I guess it isn't. I need to add that. Well, we can get to it through the course content. There is a tutoring service that Piedmont Tech pays for, and I wish more students would take advantage of it. And it's called NetTutor. Well, I've got to get a link for that. Oh, let's see. I don't want a group. Okay, well, let me do it this way. I definitely need to provide a link for... oh, there was one other thing I wanted to check. This would happen on a day when I am recording. Most teachers make mistakes too. Oh, where is it? Well, it is apparently not available, and I need to add a link to that. But Piedmont Tech pays for a tutoring service that is called NetTutor. You can get access to a tutor 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And it is a wonderful resource. I wish more students would take advantage of it. But let me show you how this works. NetTutor. Okay, I definitely need to provide a link for this in Math 111, but the NetTutor can be used for more than just math. We've got access to tutors for a lot of different subjects. But if you are taking the Math 110 or 111 portion and want access to a tutor for a problem, and it may be the middle of the night and you're afraid that your instructor probably isn't up and ready to help you, although I am up quite a bit late at night, you can click the live math tutor option. And then you can either drop off a question and wait for a reply, and someone will reply to you in usually a quick period of time, or you can actually meet with a live tutor
ahead of you.
And so you'll be told how many people are in the queue for the tutors that they are available. Of course, they have peak time. The semester is just getting wound down, so not a whole lot of people are using NetTutor right now. But you can get into this NetTutor option, and it's just another tutoring option. And Piedmont Tech has been paying for this for several years. More and more students are taking advantage of it. I wish that the Math 111 students would take advantage of it as well. So I hope that our little video tour here has been worth your while, and that you feel more comfortable maneuvering the course. And as always, please feel free to contact me with any questions, comments, or concerns that you may have. I know it's a lot of information, and the course does go quickly, but it is a summer session. And I've had lots of students pass this online version of Math 111 in the past. You can do it too. So don't be scared. Please contact me if you need any help, and I wish everyone good luck in Math 111 this particular summer. Bye-bye.